Welcome to my channel again. Today we're going to talk in this case about what we talked about, what we mentioned before. We're going to continue with the examples of some examples, of course, very briefly, about methodology and how to train and how to teach in football and soccer. So now we're going to mention, especially in contemporary football, very influenced by the Spanish, Portuguese school. Also, recently the Germans have begun to train this way also. Okay, so we're going to talk about today, and of course in Premier League nowadays. Today we're going to talk about some examples now of possession exercises, okay, which is the part 2. Okay, so possession exercises, because I see this confusion a lot, especially a lot of material, magazines, books, videos in training, and it's especially used incorrectly. So most of the times, maybe the people who write, maybe the coaches do not know about these things. So I want to point them out and give some examples of the difference. Of course, there are hundreds of examples. I might choose 4 or 5 for each video because of the time limit and to make the videos a little bit shorter and not so long and boring. Okay, so the main difference in possession exercises is, well, let's go first to the definition, which they are exercises whose objective is to have or keep possession of the ball and not lose it by a player, group, or team, maintaining or passing the ball to each other in a determined time and space. In this case, players will have to be able to move freely within the space used. So the main difference in the possession exercises compared to the positional exercises is that they can move freely throughout the whole space. They won't have a reference of a zone or a position, like in a positional exercise. And the difference with a rondo is that possession exercises are many players. So I've seen this a lot. Videos, I remember one of Bayern Munich of when Hansi Flick was training, and they would say this is a rondo, and it was like a 9v9 or 10v10 in a big space. So this is not a rondo, it's a possession exercise, okay? And in Spain also they call them conservaciones. Okay, the different types. So we're going to talk about some of the types. The main idea, the main difference that I want to point out is that we're talking about big spaces, we're talking about many players, and they're not positional, okay? So the player will have more freedom. He can move freely throughout the whole space. He won't have to maintain his position like in a positional exercise, okay? Of course, these exercises have a higher complexity than rondos because we're talking about more players. So when we're talking about more players, the complexity is much higher and the intensity maybe is a little bit lower, maybe sometimes in some cases, especially the physical intensity. Sometimes the mental intensity, if the space is small, it can be increased. But if the space is big, it might be a little bit lower, more similar to a match maybe. Okay, so the difference with the rondo. So the different types are, one with the ones with 2 teams that have just 2 teams. Then the second one will be with the ones that have several teams. The ones that have jokers, it can be inside, it can be outside, it can be both outside and inside, with goals, okay? So these are the ones more similar to what we call partidos temáticos, which will be theme matches or theme games or constraint games, okay? Games with constraints, okay? They are more similar, okay? And the ones that have several spaces, okay? So this is basically the big difference regarding the possession exercise compared to positional and to rondos, okay? So here in this example, it's just a very simple 9v9, I think it is, without maintaining a structure or a tactical system. Also, the other thing to point out is these exercises are more, well, they're normally used in the integrated school, which is was a very popular, probably one of the most popular schools that was created in South America, which was based all in training in the pitch, inside pitch, but with taking into account the functional training, also the physical training. Okay, and this was a school created here in South America by many physical trainers and coaches here, and so So it's very commonly used in this methodology, and also in the Spanish structured microcycle of Francisco Cirulo and Barcelona. They use this also, this type of exercises. Okay, so here in the example, it's just a normal 9v9. The team that has, of course, we're gonna work on these type of exercises on all. It's a global exercise. Okay, so we're gonna work on game-like situations, of course, of individual technique, like for example, pass and control is not really individual technique; it's collective. But we can work also on getting free from the defender towards the goal, to support, the pass, the control, the speed of the ball. And then we're gonna go talk into more tactical stuff, like for example, change from attack to defense, defense to attack, getting the ball out of pressure, the ball movement of the ball, all these kind of tactical objects. So according to whatever you'd like, whatever you prefer, you're gonna mention, or you're gonna focus on some of these or many of these, or whatever level you're coaching, of course, and also that these are more generic type of exercises, especially working in in the youth, in academy, or in youth system, as we call him in South America, and also in Spain. Okay, so basically, in this case, it's just a 9v9, maintaining possession inside the space. Very simple, very easy exercise. Okay. They can be used also as complementary exercises, as far as complementary to the warm-up, for example. Okay, this is a very commonly used exercise, also very simple. It's 3 teams of 6, 2 colors versus 1, or 2 teams versus 1. So 2 teams will have possession. In this case, yellow and red. The green will try to pressure and get the ball, okay, recuperate the ball. Okay, immediately after they gain the ball, they change immediately from attack to defense. And the 2 teams that have the ball have to, of course, try to not lose it and maintain possession, okay? So same thing as before, we're going to work a lot of technical aspects, individual and collective, and also pressure, and also, tactical things like, changing from attack to defense, defense to attack, and as I mentioned before, okay? Okay, so this exercise, several teams. Okay, we have put 3 teams. You can even add more if you want. Okay, in this exercise, in this example, we have having problems with the media play. We have three spaces. Okay, the one in the left is just a normal 8v2 with 2 jokers inside. Okay, same thing again. There's no structure, so they can move freely inside the space. Okay. You can play around with the space. You can play around with many factors. Okay, touches, rules. You can add, complexity. You can go progressively, start very easily, and progressively make it more complex. Okay, it's just a normal AV8 with 2 jokers inside. Okay, and the team that loses the ball has to go changed from attack to defense, and the team that gains it organize quickly from defense to attack. Okay, also, as I mentioned before, we always work in the superiorities. In this case, the team that has the ball find the free man, numerical superiority. The team that's defending, numerical inferiority. And of course, as I mentioned in the last videos, the socio-affective superiority, which is, knowing the characteristics and the aspects of your teammates, what are the good things they have? What are the negative things they have? If they're fast, they're slow, whatever, okay? Okay, in the second exercise in the middle is just a normal 3 teams now of 8 players. No, I'm sorry, of 6 players, okay? And it's just a 6v6 inside. The team that loses the ball inside always plays with the players, with the jokers outside, creating always a 12v6, okay? And so whoever team in the middle loses the ball, they have to defend. And if the team outside loses the ball, they go out inside, and the team that recuperated the ball goes outside and change. Or you can do it by time also, however you want, Okay, so Here we're going to go now into the one in the middle. Okay, now they lose the ball. The red play with the green outside. I have the ball. The blue try to gain it. If the outside players lose the ball, okay, you can make them play one touch, two touch, whatever you desire, whatever you think is suitable, depending on the level and the age you have. Okay, what we always have to be aware that we're always going to change the numbers, the space, the intensity, the objectives. Play around always with this, because the more the players have this rich environment, they're easily adaptable to games in the matches and to the game-like situations that they have in the matches. So we're always playing around with this. We're always playing around with different ways of doing different things and same things. Okay, so the next one is the same thing, 3 teams of 6, but now we're gonna have 4 jokers outside and 2 jokers inside. Same situation as before. Okay, if the players outside lose the ball, they go inside and quickly they change position. Okay, and it's always a 12b6. Okay, now we're going to go into possession exercises that have goals. Okay, now these can be more like games with constraints or small-sided or big-sided games. The term can be used also. In this case, for example, the 2 examples that I chose here, the one on the left, it was very commonly made popular by Arrigo Sacchi of Milan in the 1980s, and it's an excellent exercise in my opinion, a great mastermind of modern football. And the main idea and the main objective in the exercise is that you're gonna have these small goals made with cones. Okay. Or you can put sticks also, and you're going to have one more goal to the amount of one team. So if you play 8v8, you're going to have 9 goals. If you play 7v7, okay, you're going to have 8 goals. Okay, and the main objective is to pass the ball to a teammate through the goals, and they cannot repeat in the same goal, so they always have to change. So you're going to be working a lot of the change of point of attack or the ball circulation or ball movement. Okay, you're going to be working, and press. You're going to be with everything. It's a very complete exercise. Okay, and the only thing maybe you're not working is finishing here, but the rest you're really working a lot on many different things of the game. Okay, very I use this a lot. I use this exercise a lot. I really like it. I have used it for over 15-20 years. Many players that they always used to like it. It's normally because the intensity is very high. Okay, and it's very useful. You will see immediately how they are able to apply this in the matches. Okay, and the next one is just 3 teams. Okay, one team, yellow in this case have to attack the 3 goals, just to score on the 3 goals. The greens have to try to stop them. And if the yellow score, they will start from the back. Okay. And the build up from the back, and the green will press. Okay, we have a neutral zone here in the middle. Okay, and whoever reaches the neutral zone here, no teams can defend here. So, okay, I want to let it roll, and maybe you understand it easier. Okay, so if the yellow score, they will build up from the back. Okay, and the green will press now. Okay, and if they go past that to the neutral zone, they will attack the other 3 goals. So in this exercise is very useful because we'll be defending in the last, defending our goal, building from the back, and also working in the last third or near the box. Okay, so it's very useful because you're working all these types of situations. Okay, and I chose another example just with 2 spaces, an exercise where possession exercise. Okay, we're going to play, I think it is 7v7 plus 2. Okay, so here you're going to play a 7v7. You can choose several rules also. You can change the rules or add or maintain it very simple, or use progression. Okay, now in this case it's just a 7v7. After the greens, after the yellow have, the greens have more than maybe 5-6 touches or passes, they can change to the other side, and always 2 players of the yellow will be on the other side. Okay, so it's always 9v7. Okay, now if the yellow steal the ball, they have to change to the other side quickly and quickly reorganize, and 2 green will stay on this side. Okay, so it's always 9v7. Okay, we're going to work here, of course, as I said before, technical things about, as I said, pass control, getting free from the defender, ball movement, all these type of things, but also more tactical things, change from attack to defense to attack, get the ball out of pressure, reorganize, all this. Okay, so these are exercises which are very useful. Okay, they're, as I said before, they don't have positional tactical rules. Okay, so the players will be able to move freely within the space, but focusing more on these things. Okay. And same thing here. Now the yellow will defend. Okay, and then the last one is a very simple one of I put 7v7, right? 8v8. 7v7, I think it is. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, whatever. 7v7, 8v8. Here, 3 jokers. Okay, and we're gonna have, after a certain amount of passes, we can change to the other side and reorganize on the other space, or if the other team steals the ball, get the ball out of pressure immediately and change to the other side and reorganize again. Okay, you can even add 1 player, leave 1 player here to give it more numerical superiority. So in these cases, as I said before, we're working a lot on find numerical superiority, find the free man, defending in numerical inferiority to make it more difficult, so to tolerate frustration. Also, they're going to have sometimes in the matches. So, all these situations, we try to always take it into account in training, in the everyday training. So the players will be able to see it, to train it, and to improve on it, So because, they're not going to improve something that they're not able to they haven't seen before, It's more difficult. So this is really the learning process of training, this way, okay? Always through tactical sense, always with the ball, always in real game-like situations, okay? Okay, so this was a brief example of possession exercise. I wanted to make clear the differences they have, and I hope you enjoyed it. And I will be continuing with all these tools that we have in modern methodology in football, soccer, okay, talking about them, especially what we use in Europe, and because they're often very not used correctly, the terms, or sometimes they're not understood. So I wanted to make it very clear. Okay. So thanks a lot, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.